Good morning, mathematicians. Today is Tuesday, April 28th, 2020, and this is Mrs. Capizzi with the Calculating Cats. And today we will be working on the third contingency packet again. And today we'll continue with 10-5, so this will be our third day. And today we're going to be working on the homework and practice page, which is on page 571, and we're going to be completing numbers 1 through 9. So what I'm going to be doing today is setting up a problem with you. I'd like you to pause the video, try the problem, and then press play when you're ready to check your answers. So let's go ahead and get started. I do want to show you, if you're following the contingency packet, we are on this pink highlighted day, so it's day number 7. So that's where we are from this packet, and this is what your page should look like. So what I did was, I don't think they gave us enough room down here, so I did rewrite the problems on lined paper, so hopefully you'll be able to see my explanations better. But let's go ahead and take a quick peek at the another look, because they do give you some examples in there. So here, it says Anne worked 5 years, 7 months at her first job, and she worked 3 years, 3 months at her second job. So to add, how long did Anne work at her first and second job? So there you would need to add. So 7 months plus 3 months is 10 months, and 5 years plus 3 years is 8 years. So we can see here we do not need to rename this, because 10 months is less than 12 months, and there's 12 months in 1 year. And for subtracting, the question you ask could be how much longer, and we know that when we see that, that typically means to subtract. Did Anne work at her first job, then her second job? So you go ahead and subtract, and I take a look and I see I can do 7 months minus 3 months, which is 4 months, and 5 years minus 3 years is 2 years. So I do not need to rename this, because 4 months is less than 12 months, and there's 12 months in a year. So let's go ahead and look at this side for multiplying and dividing. Anne worked 6 times longer at her fourth job than her third job. Anne worked 1.5 years at her third job. So the question, how long did Anne work at her fourth job, you would need to multiply. So up here it does tell us that she worked 6 times longer, so you would take 6 times the 1.5 years. So just like we were working with multiplying a whole number times a mixed number, you can break it apart. So this would be 6 times 1 plus 6 times 1/2. 6 times 1 is 6, and 6 times 1 is 6 halves. So you can see here they renamed 6 halves, and they said that was equal to 3. So let's prove that. 6 halves, I'm going to see how many 1/2s I can make. So 2 halves, I can add another 2 halves. 2 plus 2 is 4, so I can add another 2 halves. 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 6. So I'm going to circle all my 1/2s, and I can see that equals 1, 2, 3 with no fraction part left over. And let's look at a situation where you would divide. It says Anne was employed for 546 days at her third job. How many weeks was Ann employed? There are 7 days in 1 week. So if they give you the days, you need to turn that into weeks. So when you're going from the larger quantity, days, to a smaller quantity, weeks, because there's 7 days equals 1 week, you are going to divide. So here we've got 546 divided by 7 equals 78 weeks. And I do want to just go over that with you guys because it's been a while since we were dividing using the standard algorithm. So let me get my whiteboard. So 546 divided by 7. And I'm dividing by 7, so what should I skip count by, everybody? You got it, 7s. So let's go ahead and skip count by 7s. I'm going to go out 9 places. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, 56, and 63. So I went out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 places. So I'm going to take a look at my problem here. I cannot do 5 divided by 7, so I'm just going to put an X above there. And now I've got 54 divided by 7. And I can see the closest I can get is 49. So I'm going to see what my up number is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So my up number would be 7. And here I can see 7 times 7 is 49. So I cannot take 9 from 4, so I'll regroup. The 5 becomes a 4, and the 4 becomes a 14. 14 minus 9 is 5. So now I need to bring down my next number, which is 56. And if I look at my skip counting, I can see I can get exactly 56. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 would be my up number. 8 times 7 is 56, and 56 minus 56 is 0. So that is how they got the 78, which is right here, 78 weeks. So now let's go ahead and work on the problems that were assigned for today. And again, feel free to rewrite these on a piece of lined paper like I did, but remember, you do need to show your work. I want to point out this units of time table because you will need to be using this for today. So let's quickly review. 1 hour has 60 minutes in it. 1 year has 12 months in it. 1 day has 24 hours. 1 week has 7 days. 1 decade has 10 years. And 1 minute has 60 seconds. So you will need to use these units of time to regroup today if necessary. So here's the first few problems, and I did break down the directions for you, so let's go over them real quick. So when you're doing these, first you're going to need to find the unit of time conversion. Then we're going to regroup if necessary, and then we will rename if necessary. So I'm going to be going through these 3 steps for the problems that we're doing today, and it should make more sense to you as we go through these problems. So let's take a look here. I've got 8 hours and 12 minutes plus 3 hours and 15 minutes. So I know my unit of time conversion would be 1 hour equals 60 minutes. So now I'm going to add 2 plus 5 is 7, and 1 plus 1 is 2. So I've got 27 minutes, and I did not need to regroup there. Then I've got 8 hours plus 3 hours is 11 hours. So let me see if I need to rename. 27 minutes is less than the 60 minutes, so I do not need to rename that, so I am good to go. So let's take a look at number 2. 9 weeks, 5 days, minus 1 week and 6 days. So I forgot to do this for number 1, but go ahead and pause the video and see what you come up with. And when you're ready, I want you to press play. And the one thing I want you to notice is here. Can you take 6 days from 5 days? So I want you to think about what you would need to do. Okay, everyone, hopefully you tried this. Now, I want to know how many of you said that this was 8 weeks and 1 day? No, 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 no. So if you did do that, I want you to pay close attention because we're going to look at why that is not the answer. So here, I know my unit. Number 1, I'm going to find my unit of conversion. I know 1 week equals 7 days. Regroup if necessary. I look here. Can I take 6 days from 5 days? I cannot, so I need to regroup. So when you regroup with time, you need to use the numbers in your conversion. So I'm going to take 1 week away. So now I'm left with 8 weeks, and I'm going to rename that as 7 days plus 7 days. So my new top number will be 5 plus 7, which is 12. So now I renamed 9 weeks and 5 days as 8 weeks and 12 days. So now I can subtract. 12 days minus 6 days is 6 days. And 8 weeks minus 1 week is 7 weeks. So I take a look there. I do not need to rename that, so I am good to go. And I forgot to put an S here, so I'm going to fix that. All right, number 3. Oh boy, they're giving us 3 units of time. So I have 3 hours, 6 minutes, and 45 seconds, plus 8 hours, 55 minutes, and 20 seconds. And I'm going to take a sip of my coffee before we tackle that one. Okay, so I'm going to first find my unit of time conversion, and I need 2 of them this time. So I need 1 hour equals 60 minutes, and 1 minute equals 60 seconds. So I want you to pause the video, and this is adding, so go ahead and add everything up, and then we're going to be talking about specifically step number 3, renaming if necessary. Okay, welcome back. Hopefully you have done that, and let's see what we get here. I'm going to add my seconds up first. So 5 plus 0 is 5, and 4 plus 2 is 6. So I've got 65 seconds. Then I'm going to add up my minutes. 6 plus 5 is 11, so I drop the 1 and regroup the 1, and 1 plus 5 is 6. So now I've got 61 minutes, and now I'll add up my hours. 3 hours plus 8 hours is 11 hours. So I take a look here, and I need to rename 2 separate things. So here I can see 61 minutes. 61 is more than 60, so I need to rename this. So what I'm going to do is, I know that if I take 60 minutes away, I'm left with 1 minute, and I know that that 60 minutes I took away, I can rename as 1 hour. So my hours are in this column, so I know I would need to add 1 hour over here. So now I've got 12 hours, 1 minute, but I still have this 65 seconds. And 65 seconds is more than 1 minute. So I am going to take away 60 seconds because I can rename that as 1 minute. 5 minus 0 is 5. So I'm left with 5 seconds, but this 1 minute I need to add to the minute column. So I should have moved this down 1 line, but 1 minute plus another 1 minute would give me a total of 2 minutes. So my final answer here would be 12 hours, 2 minutes, and 5 seconds. So that took a lot of work, but as long as you are using your conversion numbers, you should be okay with that. But please reach out to one of your math teachers if you need more help. And I'd be happy to come up with some more examples for you. All right, so let's take a look at number 4. So we've got 1 decade. So we talked about decades yesterday. Just going to cover this up. So 1 decade, 8 years minus 9 years. So my unit of time, I know that 1 decade equals 10 years. So first, and I'm going to rewrite these steps out on a sticky so I can bring it to the next. So number 1, I'm going to find the unit of time conversion. So that's what I did here. 1 decade is 10 years. And then number 2, I'm going to regroup if necessary. And then number 3, I will rename if necessary. So let's take a look here. I found my unit of conversion. I can't take 9 years from 8 years, so I do need to regroup. So what I'm going to do is take 1 decade away, so that becomes 0, and I will add it back as 10 years. So my new top number will be 8 plus 10, which is 18. So now I can subtract. So I've got 18 years minus 9 years is 9 years, and no decades. So I do not need to rename because 9 years is less than 10. So let's go ahead and look at number 5. So this time, so I'll put my steps right here. This time I've got 12 days and 6 hours plus 8 days and 18 hours, excuse me. So let's go ahead and add these up. 6 plus 8 is 14, so I'm going to drop my 4 and regroup my 1. And 1 plus 1 is 2. Ooh, 24 hours, your light bulb should be going off ding, ding, ding that we will need to rename. And let's go ahead and add our days up. 2 plus 8 is 10, so I drop my 0, regroup my 1, and 1 plus 1 is 2. So I have 20 days and 24 hours. But I know that 24 hours equals 1 day. So if I take away the 24 hours, I can add it back in as 1 day. So 21 days. So the answer here would be 21 days, which is really the same thing as 20 days and 24 hours. All right, number 6. Again, try pausing the video to see if you can solve this and think through it. This is a subtraction problem. So we have 5 decades, 4 years, and 3 months, minus 2 decades, 5 years, and 6 months. Oh boy, I'm going to take another sip of coffee because this I can see has a double regroup. So I'm going to find my unit of time conversion, so I need 2 of them here. 1 decade equals 10 years, and 1 year equals 12 months. So let's go ahead and get started. I can see here that I cannot take 6 months from 3 months. So I need to take one of these years away. So the 4 becomes a 3. And since 1 year equals 12 months, I can add back in 12 months to my top number. So 3 plus 12, my new top number becomes 15. So now I can subtract my months. 15 months minus 6 months is 9 months. But now I'm in my years column. I cannot take 5 years from 3 years, so I need to regroup. So my unit of conversion is 1 decade is 10 years. So I'm going to my decade column. I'm going to take 1 decade away, so the 5 becomes a 4. And I can add that back in as 10 years. So my new top number is 3 plus 10, which is 13. So now I can do 13 minus 5, which is 8 years. And 4 minus 2 is 2 decades. So that one had a lot of work in it, but again, it's just like regular subtraction. First you see if you need to regroup, and then here I see I do not need to rename because 9 months is less than 12 months and 8 years is less than a decade. So I'm good to go. So let's finish this up. The next 3 problems. Number 7. It says how many weeks are in 42 days. So here you can see 1 week is 7 days. So I need to figure out how many weeks are in a day. So there's more days than weeks. So if there's more days than weeks, I need to divide. So I'm going to take 42 days and I'm going to divide that by 7 weeks, and hopefully you know your multiplication facts. So if 42 divided by 7 is 6, and I know that because 7 times 6 is 42. So to answer this question, there are 6 weeks in 42 days. All right, let's take a look at number 8. What is 8 times 3/4 of an hour? So if I have 8 times 3/4, it's a whole number times a fraction, so this would be the same as 8 times 3, which is 24, and my denominator stays 4. So if I skip count by 4s, I can get exactly 24. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. Ding, ding, ding. So 24 fourths would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wholes. So 8 3/4 hour is the same as 6 hours. Okay? You can also, some of you might have started realizing that if the top number is a multiple of the bottom number, you can divide. So 24 divided by 4 is 6. So that's another way that you could figure that out. And then here, how many minutes are in 9 1/4 hours? So my unit of time conversion would be 1 hour equals 60 minutes. So there's less hours than there are minutes. So I am going to need to multiply. So if I've got 60 minutes times 9 1/4. So again, I'm going to break this apart, and this would be the same as 60 times 9 plus 60 times 1/4. So this is a basic fact plus 0. So 6 times 9 is 54 plus a 0. So that's 540. Plus, this would be 60 times 1, which is 60 fourths. So this is the same as 60 divided by 4. So I'm going to do my division off to the side. And I know 6 divided by 4 goes in 1 time. 1 times 4 is 4. And 6 minus 4 is 2, and I would bring down my 0. And 20 divided by 4, I know that 4 times 5 is 20, so 20 divided by 4 is 5. So I know that 64ths I can rewrite that as 15. So this would be 540 plus 15, which equals 555 minutes in 9 1/4 hours. So, lots of work today. Please know that we are here to help you. So if you are confused by any of this, please, please, please reach out and we can set up a phone conference, or I can send you screenshots or extra practice problems, whatever you guys need. We miss you, miss you, miss you. It's going to be warmer out today, so hopefully you can get some fresh air. Have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you again tomorrow.